I know we're late, but better late than never, man. Welcome back. Welcome back to Hot Topics, man. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've done one of these. And I've got two very good guests with me to talk about what we've got to talk about today. First of all, the man with the sexual act as his initials, man. Dan Potts, what's going on, bro?
Hello, boys. How you doing, man? Yeah, pleasure to be back on Us Bros, man. And I know I was on the other week, but it was pretty short and sweet. But I'm really looking forward to divulging into this topic, man. This is going to be a good one. So a pleasure to be here, Manny. Pleasure.
Yeah, man. Scunny, how you doing, bro? You look like shit.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't find the unmute button. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. I've been feeling like shit last couple of days, but today I've been feeling a bit better. So, yeah, I'm getting there.
You look pale as fuck, bro. You look horrible. No. Well, we're rooting for you out here.
Cheers, mate.
You know how it is around here, man. You know how it is around here.
I even had a shave today. That's how good I'm feeling.
Yeah, the shave doesn't see any difference apart from the pale face, man.
No, mate, I had a full shave this morning. This is my 5 o'clock shadow.
You ain't shaved that. You ain't shaved that top knot off yet, then.
No. Still there, man. Still there, man.
It is still there, man.
It's either this or the hat, so take your pick.
Gone for a little Danny Ceballos haircut, mate, ain't you? That's what it is.
Oh, Manny said Zlatan the other day, so it's all right.
It's the Zlatan, bro. It's the Zlatan, man. You know why we're here, man. It's been a couple of days, man, with the Arsenal, bro. Arteta's come out swinging, right? He's come out swinging, and this is not the first time he's done this. But his press conference after the Liverpool game was an eye-opener, bro. So, Potts, I'm going to come to you first. Mikel Arteta, he's telling the board, listen, I need to be back to you. You do not build quality sides with magic. Talk to me, bro.
This is not the first interview I've loved of Mikel Arteta's, but without a doubt, it was the best one. It filled me with joy. It was exciting. It was one of those interviews that fans just wanted to jump up and say, yes, bruv. Do you know what I mean? It was exactly what every single fan is feeling right now. This is a team that has just beat the champions. Do not feel that the board should be sitting there thinking, but what's the problem then? Because Arteta is saying there is a golfing class in both of these sides. We beat them, but there's still a golfing class. So you look at the team that we put out, and there was some fresh faces, there was some rotation, and he's still saying, I am not a magician. Back me, and I can do something. If you're not going to back me, we're going to have a similar season to the dross that we've had this season. And it's refreshing to hear a manager come out and not be scared to say that. And what I also loved about it wasn't just the fact that it was a kind of honest interview. It was a real interview which touched base with the fans. And that's the first time that I've heard that from a manager after a game. I've heard it in post-match preview interviews, when people have gone for jobs, when people have missed out on jobs, when managers have become pundits. But to hear that dead after the game was special. And it was even better that we'd won the game and he'd said it. I love every single word that he said, and he is basically telling the board, it is on you now. And that is what I love. We all know this team needs a lot of work, and Mikel Arteta does too. He has apparently been very specific about the positions he wants. Whether he means positions, whether he means players in those positions, we don't know. But he has basically called out the board now, and he has said, I need these amount of players in these amount of positions. And if you do not want to back me there, we are going to be in trouble. And it was just so music to my ears, man. It was amazing. So I was loving it. It was refreshing. And moving forward, I really, really hope now that the board react. And if they don't, it's not on Arteta. It is on that board yet again.
You know what, bro? How does it feel to get a bit of transparency for once? Instead of, getting a manager who's just going to constantly be that pawn in the game that is the Arsenal board, bro. So how do you feel when you hear Arteta speak so candidly, bro? How do you feel about that, man?
Sorry, was you talking to me?
Funny.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
You're not well, man, are you?
I'm not well. Come on, give me a break.
Listen, we'll take it easy on you, man. We'll take it easy.
Yeah, take it easy. Take it easy. Yeah, it's good to actually hear an actual manager with good intentions and actually be honest. Like you say, a candid manager. It's the way. It's what we want. It's what we need to hear. And the fact that he admits that he's got big concerns that's his words, not mine. The big concerns in the transfer window just says it all there about transfer funds. We need someone like that. We need people in his position to be calling out this board that we've got and this owner that everyone seems to, Silent Stan, as everyone calls him. We need someone like that to be calling these people out. It's all well and good the fans doing it, but when it's a manager or a coach, it speaks more volume.
You're telling me, you think that's going to keep the boo boys off him, though?
No, not all. There's always going to be them people.
Yeah, see, that's the bit that I don't understand, bro, because this is not the first time he's done this. This is his third or fourth time publicly. He has come out and said, we need to invest. The game yesterday was a great win, don't get me wrong. But look at the gulf in class between the two. So that level of transparency, surely the people who are calling for Arteta's head can see that if he's not successful and he's not backed, they're not going anywhere. Surely that can keep him off his back, no?
No, not all.
The problem you've got with this...
We're talking about our fans here, aren't we?
Exactly that. You're talking about these deluded fans, the deluded fan base. You know what it's like with these fans? They're so fickle, they're so flip-flops, as they call them. They're fickle. 1 minute, Arteta is an absolute god for beating Liverpool. On Sunday, he picked the wrong team and he was awful. Against Man City, it was time for him to go. There was no time for him to be with this team. This guy is not a magician. This team is dreadful. This is the worst Arsenal side that I have seen in my footballing era. Even worse than the Bruce Rioch days, when Stuart Houston and Bruce Rioch had to take over, when we had the kind of Glenn Helders and Eddie McGoldricks and people like that in the side. Yeah, this is back to those days, Manny. Right, back to those days. When you look at this board, you think, how can they believe they have given Arteta the tools to get us into the top four? Because that was what our plan was at the start of the season. And then when Arteta took over in January, on Boxing Day, in fact, we all said, right, let's go for the top four. Let's go for the top four. There's 3 people that are talking on this podcast now that knew that was not going to happen. And the board surely know that this is not going to happen now. So there's still talking, some fans, about coming sixth. There's still talk that when Man City were going through their kind of trial thing or with the Court of Arbitration, they were saying that if this comes our way, we can ourselves get into a situation where 5th would get us into the Champions League. So many people were disappointed when Man City were taken into European football, and they were like, this is gutting for Arsenal fans, because if we come 5th, we won't be in the Champions League. This is how deluded some of our fan base are, bro. They believe 5th place this season was actually achievable. Yeah, if we won every single game from Project Restart, we might have snuck in there. But we were never going to do that because this team is not good enough. You look at some of these players that have still been here, Manny, from the previous regime. We're talking about Arsene Wenger, by the way. We're not talking about the Unai Emery signings here. We're talking about Mustafi. We're talking about Lacazette still, Mesut Ozil. We're still talking about Bellerin, Kolasinac. these players were signings for
Bro. You're
unreal.
depressing.
Like,
Honestly.
exactly, because it's depressing.
But you know what? Okay. So let me try to play devil's advocate for a second, yeah? Now, one signing that we can all say, right, has been absolute master. David Luiz, right? Arteta's come down. He's back in. It's gone down. I'm going to complete this one. Suarez and David Luiz. Apparently, they are Arteta players. So, my question is, looking at those two, can you really trust the profile of players that Arteta wants to come through the door at Arsenal?
Sorry, mate, you broke up a bit there. On mine.
This internet. You know what?
Yeah, your internet is so bad, Manny, but we can just about hear you.
Fuck Sky Broadband. Fuck them. Fuck them. They are terrible. I'm saying the profile of players that come through the door that Arteta is backing, David Luiz and Suarez, do you back him to get the right kind of players through the door when you're looking at those two?
Well, was David Luiz and Arteta signing? Is it down to Arteta? This is the issue that I think I'm finding with a lot of it. Is it up to Arteta making these signings? You know, and that's the issue that I've got. I know there was big talk about David Luiz. You know, Arteta wanted him for that extra year, but it's. I think the other one for me is, yeah, he may have wanted him, but does he know? Does he know in advance that he's not going to be getting much? Does he know already that they've already told him probably he's going to get 20 million to spend this summer? For argument's sake, he's going to get 20 million to spend this summer, and then give or take whatever you sell. So does he know in advance, like, I've got to think, right, who do I need to keep this time round just to try and, you know, just to make something of a team? He wants a big team. You know, we're not a huge team. We haven't got a load of players in every position. So is he looking towards that looking towards that and just having to settle for these players at this moment in time because he knows he's not going to get backed? And the way and what he's doing by publicly outcrying this, you know, and just saying, look, I need to be backed, I need some more money, you know, is that I'm trying to think of the words.
Good time, bro.
Yeah, just trying, you know, just trying to like get him to give him some more. You know, tell him, say, look, these players are crap. I need to get rid of them. I can't keep the David Luiz's, the Granit Xhakas anymore. These aren't the players I want anymore. These are the ones I need to move on. I need to be backed. I need to bring in my style of player, this player that I need for the team to move forward. But unfortunately, I think what Arsenal fans we've got over the years, we've had to settle for these types of players. You know, I'm with Max on with what's happening with Aubameyang. It's the case of, are we just settling for Aubameyang? Are we going to give him this much money? You know, 250 to 350,000 a week contract. Are we just settling? Can we not let his contract run down and then see what we get at the end of next season? You know, so I'm with Max with on that one. It's I just won't do it. Is it worth it for another 3 years?
You know what? Let's talk about the type of what Arteta's got to deal with here, because it's not only does he have to contend with Arsene Wenger who have failed, but he's got to deal with Emery signings who haven't done it either. And he's got to deal with, me personally, players that were signed because Raul is in bed with these super agents, right? So listen, we're gonna get to Raul and super agents in a second. But how long do you truly feel it's going to take before we can actually say that this is a Mikel Arteta team? Potts, I'm coming to you with this one.
I've said it for a few months now, a few weeks now, since the Arteta kind of reign project restart. The summer of 2021, because 2021 cannot come quick enough. Not just for the fact that 2020 has been a shit year for everybody, for unfootball related, but for the pure fact that 2021 is when these contracts run out. The Özils are gone. The Kolasinaks are gone. You've got the likes of Mustafi and Socrates. If they don't go this summer, they'll be gone then anyway. There's so many players that are on the last year of their contract or the last but 1 year of their contract that need to be gone. And you've said it before, Manny, blow this team up, and I'm totally with you. The reason I say blow this team up is precisely what you said, because these are the same players that fucked up in Baku. They're the same players that messed up against Olympiacos this year. They're the same players that messed up under Wenger. They're the same players that showed a mentality or lack of mentality against ridiculous results over the last 5-10 years, like the 6-0s on Wenger's 1000th game, the 8-2s at Old Trafford, the 5-1s at Anfield, the 6-3s at the Etihad. These are players that learn off of players that are currently still there, or that left of players that are still there, like Bellerin, like Mustafi, like Xhaka, like Özil. These are players I don't want to see in the team. And if we can't get money for them, it does not bother me. I would take 25 million in January from her for putting in for Xhaka. I'd have said bye-bye. People said, no, we want to get more money for him. And Arteta obviously rates him now, so it doesn't look like he's going to leave. But I would have taken that and said, see you later, to get him out the team. I'd do the same with Özil. If it was a loan deal, bye-bye. Mustafi, loan, okay, bye-bye. It does not bother me if we do not get the 5 million that Mustafi's perhaps worth. Just get them gone from the team and off the wage bill so we can start again. You said to Scunny about David Luiz, Pablo Mari, Cedric Suarez. These are players that Arteta likes, so keep them, because we have to give the guy a chance. Just because we don't rate them doesn't mean that we can't give that a chance under Mikel Arteta. So Pablo Mari, huh?
I've got a problem with that, bro. I've got a problem with giving poor players a chance, man. Right?
I'm talking about the signings, though, not the Mustafis and the others. I'm talking about Cedric Suarez and Pablo Mari.
Listen, Cedric Suarez and Pablo Mari, listen, we'll see what comes, right? But if you want to build a championship level side, right? Challenging for the champion, not the actual championship. But you want to build a side with quality. I haven't seen enough of Pablo Mari for anyone to tell me that this guy is going to take us forward. Suarez may be a great backer, right? Time will tell maybe if he's a great backer, but these are not players that use. The rebuild doesn't start with players like this. These are just fillers. They're not players that are going to be there where you're challenging and when you need good cover.
No,
right?
no, agreed.
And then when we talk about, Arteta and he needs backing, I'm looking at the players that he's backed, right? Granit Xhaka, Mustafi, and I worry.
David Luiz.
This is funny. I'm like, can we really trust the profile of player that Arteta is going to take us forward when he's backing players like Xhaka, like Mustafi? It worries me, bro.
Right. That's where I misunderstood you, and it was coming through a bit. Then I misunderstood you on your question. No, you can't trust him, mate, at all. You can't. And this is what I worry about with the state of the situation and why he's come out and said, "Well, I need, I'm just trying to think. What did he say? Big concerns about whether he'd be given transfer funds. We're having to carry on settling for these types of players. That is a big concern. If he sees it as a big concern, then I think every Arsenal fan should see it as a big concern. He's not said it for no reason, let's face it. And this is the issue that we're finding. And this is where it comes down to, like you were saying, Raul and stuff. I know you want to come into him. I don't know when you want to come into him, but the guy's a snake. The guy's an absolute snake.
What makes him a snake?
What makes him a snake?
Yeah.
Look at the shit he does. Seriously, right? We got him from Barcelona. Barcelona sacked him. Why did they sack him? Because he put him into financial ruin.
Hold on. Being sacked by Barcelona is not a parameter of how good you are at your job. These fuckers just sold Arthur, right, and bought, Miralem Pjanic, bro. That's not being Barcelona signed Alex Song, Vermaelen, Gleb, Petit, and he got injured. Overmars, and he was terrible. They signed Thierry when he was at the back end of his career. So really being signed by Barcelona is not all that bad. Why is he a snake though, bro? Give me more.
Give me more, right? Well, let's face it. He's in, like you said, he's in bed with these big agents, isn't he? These big style agents that he's in bed with. Now, look at the clientele that these big agents have. One of them has got, for instance, Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba is one of the part of these big agents and stuff like that. But he's at Man United. We get David Luiz. So you got to look at you got to look at the things that he's in bed with these big agents, but he's getting like the drag ends of these big agents the drag end players that no one wants anymore. It's like the crap and the crud that you get in a beer at the bottom. It's been left too long, and you think, I'm not drinking that. I'll go get myself a new one. That's what you're getting. It's just a cheapskate.
See, I'm going to have to agree. And the reason I agree is because he's in bed with the agents, like you say, right? And when he comes to that Kia, and I'm not even going to try and say his surname, Manny, you can say I can't. Jurachan, right?
Jurachan.
Yeah.
So I didn't say the names because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say his name either. This is why we got David Luiz. This is why we are linked this summer with Thiago Silva, Coutinho, Willian. So many.
Exactly. The drag end on the back end of their career. We're getting the arse end. Like, we're not even getting the arse end. We're getting the dingleberry rosebud that's on the hair of the back end of these guys' careers. This is what we're getting because he's a cheapskate. That's all it is. He's a cheapskate. Well, I say he's a cheapskate, but he's throwing massive money at shit players.
Do you know what? I wanted to bring up, mate. Do you know what? Big Steve. Shout out to Big Steve. He's just been thinking exactly the same as what I do. Can he take credit for Tierney, Saliba, and Martinelli though? What do you boys think of that? Because for me, Tierney's been a good signing. Saliba's obviously high potential. We don't know what he's going to be like, but he's really potentially supposed to be something really special. And Martinelli has been a find. What do you think of that? Because I think that's a point. I think it's a point.
Hold on, man. Okay. Martinelli was Francis Kajic. I can't even say his last name.
Correct. Kajic. I can't say it either, man. Yeah.
I can't say it. It's tricky, bro. Yeah? But Martinelli was that guy. Tierney.
Tierney's old school.
He's old school, but Saliba, it wouldn't surprise me if they got him, if he got into, Sven Mislintat's book good young players before he left the club, bro. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I thought Saliba was a Mislintat.
It smells like a Mislintat signing, Saliba, right? So when you look at the players that were being linked when it comes to the Raul Reign, Justin Kluivert, right? Justin Kluivert, like you said, Willian, Coutinho, Thiago Silva, Cedric Suarez, David, all big agents, clients. They're not even, we're not getting top quality players. We're getting dross. Now, let me back. Like I said, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Mkhitaryan, right? Do we give Raul credit for getting Mkhitaryan out the door? And do we give him time seeing how he got that through the line? Do we give him time and using Mkhitaryan as an example? Do you think that he's going to do that elsewhere?
Go on, Dan, I'll let you.
I do not have no faith with that. The only thing I'll say, Mkhitaryan, it seems like he's gone. I don't know. It's not been 100% confirmed, but it pretty much is done that he's gone back to Roma. And I like that because I think what they're looking at, and this is don't have this confirmed, they want to sign Aubameyang. whether it's on a long 3-year contract, whether it's on the 1-year extension, if we get in the Champions League, they want to sign Aubameyang on the 250 to 300 a week that they want to get. So they need to find that money from somewhere. And if that 180k is going to help for Mkhitaryan's wages, then I can see what they're trying to do there. My only downside with that is the trust I have so far with signings, I would not say have been fantastic. Now, I brought up a couple there, obviously, and Big Steve agrees. Obviously, Saliba we don't know about. Gabby Martinelli, you've already said. Sven Mislintat actually did quite a lot to get Aubameyang to the club. And obviously, Mavropanos, he obviously wanted the Mkhitaryan and Socrates deals that didn't work out. Tierney, I can't comment on. I have no idea. But I know Guendouzi was Mislintat as well, right? So with Raul, if you look at the players he has signed, none of them have really worked out from the ones that he's looked at. And when I'm looking at the players that we're linked with in this summer, with the Thiago Silvas, we were linked last summer with Upamecano and then Thomas Partey's coming into it. These names that are coming in, I'm thinking these are not going to happen. The ones that we know are going to be more likely to happen are these horrendous, old, washed-up players. Now, let's not beat around the bush and say that Arsenal should be able to go and, should have any right to go and sign the Upamacanos and Parties. Listen, Coutinho and Willian could come to Arsenal and be better than Nelson and Ozil, right? Maybe. But I don't want that style of player. I don't want that in this Arsenal side, and I'm not sure that Arteta does. So for me, it's no more about with Raul. It's more about is he going to allow Edu and Arteta to have a say with this? Or is it just going to be what Raul wants, like with Emery? I want Pepe, not Zaha. We're getting Pepe, I'm afraid. That's my worry with Raul. Is he's already decided, I think, who he wants, and it's not about who fits Arteta's style anymore. And that is my biggest concern. My other concern with Raul, just to finish it up with this, is this. We need a right back. We need a centre back. We need a defensive midfielder, in my opinion. Is he going to say, well, your right backs I've given you, Suarez. There's your centre back, Saliba, and there's your other centre back, Pablo Mari. That's my worry. This summer, he's just signed them free already. Is he going to say, there we go, I've got you what you need? Because it still isn't enough money. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Bro. Yeah, I'm going to say with the Mkhitaryan deal, I believe it was a buyout, basically a payoff to pay him out of the contract. I think that's the thing that I've read. So that's done. So he can freely go wherever he wants to go, but I believe he stayed in Rome and stayed at Roma. With basically what you're saying, I can't disagree with you at all, mate. It's worrying. It's worrying more than what it used to be worrying when, in the last stages of the Wenger era. I'd rather be looking at, we're going to get Pascal Segan. I'd rather look at that and think, actually, yeah, maybe, he's not too bad, is he? Then be linked with Thiago Silva. It's just I'd rather be linked with Pascal Segan again.
Thiago Silva is 36, Manny. What the hell is going on?
What's wrong? It is. This is what I mean. We're getting the arse end of these players thinking what we're turning into, the retirement home.
Yeah.
It's
bro, have you forgotten, Mikael Silvestre and those guys?
Yeah. Peter Cech. Yeah, that's what I mean. We're turning into the retirement home. We've got Peter Cech, we've got David Luiz. You got Aubameyang. He's not going to be there that long, is he now? What is he, 31? Now we're on about with Thiago Silva, Willian. Who's next?
Kim Kallstrom, bro. Kim Kallstrom, remember him?
Broken back. But do you know what I mean? It's just who's next? Are they going to bring out Inzaghi? Is Inzaghi going to go out of retirement to have 1 year with Arsenal? Just to get a decent payoff. This is where it's looking. It's ridiculous. I don't get where it's coming from. You're going to get Alessandro Del Piero coming back. It's just one of them things. It's just ridiculous.
Scunny, what was it we said the other day on the podcast about being linked with Benzema again?
For God's sake!
This
is the new Upamecano deal, mate. Every year we're going to be linked with Upamecano every year, and this is going to be our new Benzema. and then people in the chat was coming out with loads of him, weren't they? It wasn't just
Draxler. Draxler, do you remember that?
Draxler, linked with him again.
Come on, man. You're forgetting one every summer. Solomon Kalou, bro.
Yeah, Solomon Kalou, that was the other one.
How many summers were we linked with that absolute dog shit of a player? Solomon Kalou, bro.
The other one who went to Chelsea. What was his? He went to Chelsea towards the end. I can't remember his name now. He was from Juventus. Oh no, he was from Real Madrid. Then he went to Juventus. Chelsea and Juventus. Striker.
All right, Morata.
No, striker.
Samuel Eto'o.
Argentinian.
No. Oh, Argentinian.
I can't remember his bloody name.
Higuain?
You what? Sorry.
Higuain.
Yeah.
Higuain. Yes, you're
He was
right.
linked with him as well every year.
The infamous Higuain medical, bro. Yeah, when apparently he was meant to come to the London Colney and we were following his flight and Higuain was due to have a damn medical at Arsenal. Yeah, never happened. Still waiting for it to turn up.
Yeah, we are. Still
waiting.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
This is what I mean. Is he still playing? Is he going to finish out his last year with Arsenal?
Man, Stan the man's done another one in the comment. William Carvalho every summer for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
William. Listen, he would have been a decent signing in my opinion.
Well,
you know what? Let's try. You know what? Let's try to bring a positive spin to this, right? Saka, Martinelli, right? Signed up. Mavropanos signs an extension today, goes out on loan, right? Is that some positive steps in rectifying the terrible deals that we've done before? Anybody answer, man?
Yeah, man, that is a great bit of news in my opinion. Listen, Saka and Martinelli are without a doubt going to be special talents. They're going to be head and shoulders above the Reece Nelsons and the Joe Willocks and the Smith Rowes of this world, in my opinion. So we need to be signing them down and tying them down to long-term deals, and it looks like we've done that. But let's not get it twisted. Excuse me. In 18 months' time, we're going to have to do it again because they're going to be coming down and running down again. So it's going to be about what happens then and where we're at that point. Because in 18 months' time, we could still be in this position. Who knows? I'd like to think we're not, but we could be. So it's going to be interesting to see how we how we do this. When it comes to you say, Manny, some of the positives, one positive that I think that we can probably say, and I'd love to get your opinion on this player because I know, Manny, you want to give the guy time. There was a lot of clubs in for Nicolas Pepe. There was a lot. I don't know what the names of the clubs were. I think Napoli, I think Bayern Munich. We heard Germany, Italy, Spain, loads and loads of teams. But he come to Arsenal, and apparently Raul and Hus family were the reason that he come to Arsenal. Is that a positive? Is that something we can hang on to? I'm trying to look for positives as well as the youngsters signing deals. What's your take on that with Pepe, man?
Pepe frustrates me, man. I can't be the only one where I'm just like, there's something about the guy, right? But at the same time, I look at him and I'm like, there's something not quite there yet. And I don't know whether because it's the pieces aren't there for him. And there's a lot of caveats. He didn't have a preseason. You know, he just come straight from the French league into the African Cup of Nations and then into Arsenal. You know, the bedding period is hard. You know, Perez had the hard one. You can see there's something bubbling underneath the surface with Pepe, right? Then at the same time, you look at him and he frustrates the life out of you, right? Like yesterday, his lack of intensity. You can't do that against Liverpool. He lacked intensity and he loses the ball and he's got that Mesut Ozil fucking body language about him and I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I want you to go after them when you lose the ball, Pepe, because we need Pepe to fucking work, bro. We just spent £72 million on the dude. We need him to work. I want to give him time because he doesn't have the pieces there, but he needs to switch on. He needs to be a bit more aggressive and direct in what he does. He frustrates me, but I would say, let's give the guy time, bro.
And do you give Raul credit for getting him, or is it nothing to do with that?
I don't want to give Raul credit at the minute because a lot of listen, the guy said a lot of things. The guy came out, that interview on Arsenal.com. He said, if you're 18 months down, we'll have a conversation. Do you want to sign? If you don't sign, we'll get you out the door. Why is Aubameyang gone a year?
Exactly.
Why did it take too long for Saka to sign on? Why the fuck is Mr. Ozil still here? Why is Mustafi running down his deal? There are so many players right now. They're not good enough, but they're not being moved on at the rate that he said they were. Maybe he was speaking too quick and he didn't realize the job that he had on his hands. But don't say it then. I don't trust these people. I don't trust none of them because their track record is shit. I don't trust them. There's nothing for me to hang my hat on right now, And there is no Arsenal fan right now that can tell me that there's been positive from Raul and Vina. What the fuck does Eddie do? What's Eddie do? Technical director, what does he do? Can somebody tell me what he does? In the chat, tell me what Eddie does. Please. Because I don't know yet.
I'm still working it out myself, to be fair, on that one.
It's a great question.
What does he do? He was at the game yesterday. He was there with his mask on. He was watching it. He was a player. You can say he's a football man. You cannot tell me you were happy with what you saw yesterday. Completely. Yes, we won. But it was David versus Goliath. It was minnows versus giants, man. You cannot be fully happy with what you saw in 8% possession. 8%. I've never seen that from an Arsenal game. I've never seen us have low 8%. Eddie was sitting there watching it. Then when your manager, the one that they campaigned for, comes out and goes, I need to be backed. How do you respond, bro? If you're the board members, how do you respond? Because he's laid down the gauntlet and then back me. This team's not good enough. We won, but the goal thing cost was clear. Edu, what the fuck is his role, bro? Somebody else comment. Please tell me what he does.
It's a good point because I don't know. I really don't know what his role is.
My understanding was that Edu was supposed to be looking at recruitment, but it seems that it's Raul and Hosfami that do that. So I'm lost with it. I think with Edu, he has got the Brazilian expertise. So I believe that he had a big deal with Francis. What's his surname? I don't know. Our scout to get Martin. Yeah, Francis is easier to get Martinelli. So apparently he had a big deal with that. He had a big deal with Pablo Marie apparently as well. But I'm so confused at how this football club runs. I don't think Kroenke cares or knows how it runs, and I don't want to get into him really. But I think that with Raul, we're going to see a lot about this board this summer. Why? Because Arteta's interview there and previously in his press conferences, he's called them out. Aubameyang, let's not forget, a couple of weeks ago has called the board out. Aubameyang's clearly asked for that contract, and the board have now got to decide whether we can afford it or not. This is on the board to make those decisions now. And it's going to be very interesting in the summer to see what happens and what style we get. And if we go for the Williams and the Coutinhos, or if we go for the Upamecano's and the Grealishes and the parties. I know what I think is going to happen, boys, and I don't think it's going to be pretty.
I wish, I'm sorry, Dan, but I wish you'd stop saying party. That's not happening.
Mate, I don't think they're happening. I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying, but I hear that name being thrown out all over the place. It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Man, I don't... Listen, we can all wish for Partey. We can wish for... Forget upcoming signings, right? Let's forget about that for a second. Let's deal with the men currently at the football club. I can't even get my words out because talking about these guys annoys the hell out of me. But let's focus at the club right now, right? Because, like I said, Arteta has laid down the gauntlet. And the way I see it is, this will only go one or two ways. They will back him, or Arteta is going to complain and complain about it, and then he's going to leave. That's the way I see this playing out. Because the men at this football club, we don't have that many football men. Raul, like was in the comments section, football man. Not a football man, sorry, a businessman. Vina, I don't know what the fuck he does. Hush family.
I forgot all about him. I forgot even his name.
I don't know what the fuck he does. I don't know what he does, right? You've got, the Cronkies. They don't know fuck all about football. You've got, who else is on the board? Lord Harris. Is it Lord Harris? Is it Lord Harris on the board?
Well, what's his name?
Oh.
Chips Keswick has now gone, and we've got that blooming Tim Lewis in, haven't we? Who's now like a Cronky's lawyer or something.
Yeah. Who are these people? Right? Who are these people? We are bringing these people into the football club. How many of those people have Arsenal at the forefront of their minds? We see that we just got businessmen and random American lawyers. Have you seen Tim Lewis's hairline, bro? Have you seen his hairline?
Yeah.
Listen.
Oh, never.
Never trust anyone like that, bro.
I don't trust. The minute he got announced, right, I put it in the group chat, and I was like, who is this people? Who are these people? Right? So I worry that there aren't enough football men at the club right now to see through Arteta's vision. Because if he's got to bring it up again, right? Clearly he's worried. Clearly something has been said. Something is not working. He's not happy with something that he's heard, and he's making it clear. He's laid down the gauntlet again. Now, the Rams manager, what's his name? Stephen McVay. I don't know what his name is. Some American dude, right? 35 years old, the youngest head coach ever. The Cronkies backed him, right? And that's what it was about. They backed him. In his second year, they got to the Super Bowl. Fuck the Super Bowl, right? Do you guys truly believe, judging by what happened with the Rams, do you think the Cronkies are going to back Arteta? Truthfully, no.
No, I don't.
No,
I don't. Go on, Sonny, I'll let you go.
No. Well, why would they? Arsenal is a cash cow for them. It's nothing. It's got nothing more, nothing less but a cash cow. It's just another tax thing, when you have so much money, you need to put money elsewhere. It's a business. So they put money into the business. It's like a tax thing. It's not, they're not going to, they can't be putting their all into it. Like you just said it yourself there. They are not putting anybody football related apart from Edu. That was the only person I know of who knows anything about football that they even hired in them top managerial roles. Who else? Have they done anyone else? No. You said it yourself there. It's all businessmen. Businessmen are there to make money. They don't care about anything else but making money. So, and not only that, I think it was the NFL stadium that they've just built in LA. So the new stadium. I know that has got nothing to do with Arsenal, but I think it's the state that pays for that.
$4 billion, in it? It's costing.
Yeah, but I think it's the state of California that pays for it. I don't even think it's them who's even paying for it. It goes down on it goes down on stuff like that. So in advertisement. So I just don't think he will back him. Why would he? He's just bought their debt. He's just bought 2 bonds of our Arsenal's debt.
What does that mean, though, Scunny?
Well, to me, all that means is that Arsenal now owe him. They don't owe a bank. They don't owe anybody else. They owe KSE.
So that worries me.
Yeah.
All he's done for me, right, is he's taken out. See, you've got a credit card debt. He's taken that debt and paid off to pay off another debt. That's all it's done. And it's not really given Arteta any money transfers to work with, in my opinion. So this 250 million that people keep talking about is bollocks. Yeah, it is bollocks. Everybody needs to forget about this 250 million that we have got sitting there is bullshit. It doesn't make any sense. Why does Stan Kroenke not care about Arsenal? Because he's never ever told us that he does. So why is he going to come out now and say all of a sudden we care about it? We Care Do You come together and got a response from them and then did nothing on it because we signed Pepe. That's the fan base again. It's bullshit, bro.
One it wonders.
Can we not talk about We Care Do You, bro? Can we just leave that? Do you remember, Scully? I'm like, do you remember when they first came out, right? When that letter came out and everyone signed that petition, right? And I remember clear as day. I was like, great, wonderful. I'll wait until you do something substantial. Scully, you said the exact same thing. Those fuckers came, got what they wanted, which is a brand new toy, and Pepe then went quiet. So fuck We Care Do You, bro. I don't want to hear those. I don't want to hear those words. I don't want to hear those words because
Like I said,
again, it was just false. It was like Gazeta saying We Care Do You. It didn't mean nothing. It didn't mean anything. We Care Do You didn't mean anything, right?
I love that.
It just the fans came together. Everybody was ready to go crazy and to march to the Emirates and demand for the club to care. And then Pepe came and it was quiet. There was nothing else said. Don't forget We Care Do You, but I don't want to hear nothing about We Care Do You. Forget all of that. Forget all of that. Because for me, that We Care Do You is just like the Arsenal board. Just nothing. There's nothing about that gives me that gives me, any form of pride that we're gonna do something, that we're gonna come together. No, we're just gonna keep getting fucked over.
So do you think
that weekend you got fucked over massively, didn't they? Let's face it. And
yeah,
they accepted it. And that was the best thing about it. They accepted it. They accepted getting like bent over and just taken deep up the arse. That's what they got accepted. They just accepted that.
Man,
so yeah, fuck them. Simple.
Do you know what though, right? When Arteta comes out in that interview,
sorry, mate. Steve just said it. They're a joke.
They're a joke.
Yeah. Oh man, they're crazy. They're crazy. When Arteta comes out and says that yesterday, who is he directing that at? Is he directing that as a culmination? Is he directing that at Kroenke to give money because he's the only one that can? Is he directing that at the board in terms of Raul and Hosfami? Where did you see that being directed at? Because we're just saying the board. But is it the board or is it a person?
I think it's all of them.
Yeah, so do I.
I think it's all of them, right? Because now a decision is not just made by one person. Now it's a collective, apparently. They want to tell you that, it's the executive team that comes together. It definitely isn't Lord Harris, right? Or whatever his name is. I may be getting that name completely wrong. All I know is that go freaking bombs. But I think it's the collective, right? I think it's the collective. If Arteta is the Kroenke's man, he's the Kroenke's man, right? Apparently, they wanted him. They wanted to interview him before they got Emery, right? So they wanted Arteta, following in the same style that they did with the Rams, getting a young coach in that's got prospects and who's looking good. Okay, back him. If that's your man, back him. I think personally, Arteta probably hasn't heard from the Kroenke since his interview. I think they got him through the door and they just said, "Yeah, you get on with it."
The odd email.
I think he'll email. Yeah,
it'll be a cat email. One of them funny cat videos that he gets every month. He'll get one of them from the Kroenkes. It will be
right. I think right now, when they're waving the flag at the Emirates, the big Arsenal flag. Yeah. I think that's what Arteta's been to the board right now. He is waving that Arsenal flag go high and proud, letting you know, you dickheads, I need help. I need help. Help me. For fuck's sake, help me. This is not good enough. And what bothers me is the executives come to the games. They're sitting there.
So what are they watching?
This. Are you like, oh, Cedric Suarez is playing? Oh, he has a decent game. Mane was having him on toast. Mane had him going the other way time after time after time. You've seen David Luiz make mistakes. Eddie was at Man City. They were at City. They saw that performance. So you can see this. This is what worries me, boys, is that they can see it. You cannot be blind to this shit.
Nah,
your manager,
he's all right, mate. Just give him another $100,000 a week.
Your manager, the one who you wanted through the door, is coming out again to tell you that we can't go forward like this. So what are you going to do about it? This is your man. I have a bad feeling this is going to end badly, boys. I swear to God.
Well, Stan the man just put something in the comments here, which is true. I don't even see it. It's the third one from the bottom. Stan the man. Shout out to Stan as well, man. Good lad. Really good lad. There. I reckon Mikel went to see them with his shopping list and they all just sat there and laughed at him. And listen, would it surprise you? Would it surprise you? Do you know what I mean?
Not one bit.
Man.
You can imagine, can't you? You can turn around and say, oh, look, mate, I really, really want a really good centre-back. I really need the Upamecano's of this world. I really need someone, like another Matt Hummels when he was 22 years old or something like that. And I just started laughing and said, no, mate, you're having Thiago Silva instead.
Jesus Christ.
That's what get. That's what. Yeah, you can have Thiago.
Oh, man.
And they want Jack Grealish, but they can have Coutinho on loan.
Or
Willian. Or Fraser on loan, or Willian on loan, whoever the fuck it is. Oh, man.
Money.
James Rodriguez, that's the other one, wasn't it? That's what we were discussing the other day, wasn't it, Dan?
James Rodriguez.
James Rodriguez.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, man.
He scored a belter in the World Cup, and then all of a sudden he's the next Zidane. Do you know what I mean? It's shocking, isn't it?
that was his claim to fame. He flopped at Real Madrid, he flopped at Bayern Munich, and we just continuously get with the guy, man. There's a list of players that we continuously get linked with, and whenever you see their names, you're just like, just fuck off. The other one recently was Yannick Carrasco.
Oh yeah.
Yannick Carrasco, yeah, we're gonna get him back from China. This, that, and the third. Listen. This is why we don't listen to rumors. But again,
what happened to that
leak, boys? Well, he went back to Atletico Madrid, bro.
Yeah, he's at Atletico Madrid.
There, man.
Oh no, that's what I mean. We're getting him, though, aren't we? I think we're still getting him. Is he on a bus from China?
The ones I see coming, I see that there's that centre back from Nice, that Sarr. That was a perfect signing for us. It's a free transfer, 21, potential to go next to Saliba. That's the sort of signing we get in, not the Upamecano. The other lad that is highly rated is that Salzburg. So I'm not even going to attempt to say his name. Salzburg dude. And he looks like a kind of Aaron Ramsey midfielder.
Sorry. When you were just saying that there, that 95 Winston just put a comment Benzema.
No, fuck, man. What's that guy's name?
I don't even want to say it, man. It's something. It's like a Scrabble. Do you know what I mean?
The Hungarian dude, Slabazly, something like that. Slabazly. No, it's a lot of Z's, B's.
I'm going to try and say it is Zobozle.
Basically, it's the buttons that you don't press on a calculator.
Yeah, that's it, man. He's a 19-year-old Hungarian footballer. SZOB. SZOBOSZLAI. Jesus Christ.
His first name's Dominic.
Unbelievable.
Call him Dom. Let's call him Dom.
Yeah,
that's the kind of player that you would want to come through the door, right?
Yeah,
young,
definitely.
Like he's tearing it up at Salzburg. Salzburg is a hotbed for young talent, right? They've always got talent coming through over there. So
it's them Red Bull teams. They seem to have that talent coming through, don't you? Even the RB Leipzig. You know, they're the same. They've had some really
all
good
of them.
coming through.
There we go.
Mm.
Big Steve sorted it
All of
out
them.
for us. That's who it is. Saar,
If
good
we-
player, and that lad.
Like I said, the buttons that you don't press on a calculator.
So, so okay. Let's try to wrap this up on a positive note. Yeah. So we do have we can sell. There are players that we can get money for. Who are the three that get out of the door to kickstart the rebuild? Who are the three players that you think we can get genuine money for, so that we can start to bring in the players that Arteta wants?
I will
Three.
go with Lacazette. I will go with Bellerin. And as much as I hate it, and I hate to say it, I will go with Guendouzi. Because Arteta hates the guy clearly. Yeah, we're not going to get many money for the other ones. Potentially Torreira, you know, or somebody like that. But we're not going to get any money for the Kolasinaks and the Mustafis of this world. So for me, if I had to sell free to get money for them, I would go Lacazette, Bellerin, and Guendouzi.
Scunny?
Yeah, Lacazette, definitely. Guendouzi. I don't know if I'd go for Bellerin. This is a tough one. I want to see him off the books massively, but I can't see us getting any money off it for him. He's not Zirzel, so I've got to go with someone like Xhaka.
Oh.
I reckon we get
Ooh.
money for him at the minute.
That's a shout. That's a shout. You know, man. I was reluctantly like you, Potts, Guendouzi. I think he's gone. It's done with Guendouzi. Bellerin as well. I think you can get money for him. I think we can really bend some Italian teams over for these players. And I don't think we get enough money for Lacazette, though, but I've said it to you already, man. 29 years old, you know what I mean? Not been great the last year.
Last year?
Yeah. He hasn't been good for it. For me, he hasn't been good for a year. It's been terrible.
I'll probably go a bit further.
Maybe. I'm going to go Torreira. I'd say Torreira as well.
How much do you reckon we can get for those players then, Manny? Those three, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking you can get maybe 35 mil for Guendouzi. You know, because I'm thinking of the current market. I'm thinking around the same for Bellerin and around the same for Torreira. You know, I genuinely think that you can get 35 million for each. Whether that's enough, I don't know, but Guendouzi, 2 years left on his contract. Torreira, 3 years left on his contract, I think. Bellerin, 2-3 years. You know, young players as well. So anything upward of 35 million for me is a bargain for them. Personally. Do you see that happening though?
No, I don't know. I don't know if I do. I mean, listen, the ones that we want to go aren't those players. Let's be real. We want to see all three of mine would be different. I wouldn't choose any three of mine that I want to see go. But in terms of what I think we can get for them, I still think we can get okay money for Lacazette. I originally said 40, but we're saying that's too much. Potentially, we could get 35, 30, whatever it be for him. And I'm with you, Manny. I think 30 Torreira. I think we can get 30 to 35 for Bellerin if we get, you know, really screw one of these Italian sides over. And Guendouzi, I think we can push. Yeah, I think we can push 35, 40 for Guendouzi just because of his age and how much talent he's got. So, yeah, I'm with you, man. I think they're the options to get rid of, but that's the only way we're going to get money.
Oh, but we got a question from Big Steve, bro. Do you want Chambers to stay? A solid squad player, never put a foot wrong and was cracking before his injury. What are you boys saying? Chambers, keep him?
Scunny?
Sorry, what? Do you know what? It wouldn't really fuss me if he stayed or went. With Chambers, I'm not overly He's not an exciting player. He's not. Yeah, he hasn't put a foot wrong, but I don't think he's pulled out trees either. Do you know what I mean? It's not. He's not someone I can. If he goes, he goes. If he stays, he stays. For me, at the minute, we've got that many centre backs at the minute. What do we do with them?
Do you know Leicester? Do you know Leicester offered 20 million for Callum Chambers in 2016, and we rejected it? Why? Why did we reject that?
We paid
That
20
guy is-
million for him, bro. That's no profit at all. We just wait. How much? That's a £4 million
16.
profit. I think we paid 16 million pounds for it.
Yeah, 16 million. Just he's
That's
never going to
just-
be good enough. He's never going to be
No.
good enough. He's not. He's 25 now. He's not going to be a young player who's up and coming. He's a best player at Middlesbrough, best player at Fulham, and that's where I think he's at. I mean, both of them teams got relegated, by the way. I don't look at him and go, that is a Tony Adams in the making. You know,
had to get a knife in there, didn't you?
Rob Holding
Both got
like that.
relegated.
Yeah, I don't know. For where I want to be going with this team, I don't look at Callum Chambers and think we need to keep him. We've got 8 defenders and all of them can go as far as I'm concerned and start again. Rob Holding has good games and bad games. Callum Chambers was fairly solid in a couple of games, but had some woeful mistakes. You've got the likes of Luis Mustafi, Socrates, Kalasanak. I just want to start again there, you know. I really do. It's depressing as hell. Let's keep William Saliba. You know, William Saliba is going to come into this defense and think, what the fuck is this?
Who signed this contract?
Exactly. So, yeah, we need to start getting defence, boys. And that includes Chambers and Holding, to be fair. They're probably the better ones of a bad bunch.
Well, the good thing is about with people like Holding and Chambers, we could get some decent money for him because they hold that English tax as well, don't they? And that homegrown player.
Yeah,
so we've got that
Premier League period.
Also,
Premier League period. The Premier League premium, man.
Yeah.
Maguire, 80 million.
Oh my God.
That is the best signing ever, mate. That is the best signing.
Imagine. He was more expensive than Van Dijk, bro.
Yeah, but the thing is, Van Dijk holds that Premier League premium as well, doesn't he? Because he's been in the UK for so long, so he's classed as a homegrown player. Because he was at where is it? Celtic, wasn't he?
It's just funny, man. It's just funny.
And then Southampton.
80 million for Maguire.
Listen, I'm depressed as hell.
We've ended on a laugh. 80 million.
It's been a laugh, though, man. It's been a laugh, man. It's been a laugh.
I'm depressed as hell, man, because I'm looking at Arteta and I'm like, I can feel your pain, bro.
I feel sorry for him.
I feel sorry for him because he's come. This job is a poisoned chalice, man. You know, he's begging for help. You know what I mean? Again, for the 3rd or 4th time we mentioned it.
Begging for help, he's never going to get.
If he's begging for help and the transfer window hasn't even opened, then I'll worry when is it? 27th of July that it opens?
Yep.
And I worry for what's going to happen if the manager that you want, or the coach that you want, is telling you, I need help, blow this fucking thing up. the best you can do is talk about Willian and Thiago Silva. Those
gotta laugh.
Just those dry.
Where did this Thiago Silva first go from? Who mentioned that first?
Because he's old and he's free, and somebody thought, hey, let me just put 2 and 2 together. And I think it's
Arsenal a retirement home. Let's just stick it in with them.
Arsenal the retirement home, and Raul has got a brothel full of these crusty super agents waiting for dusty clients, bro. I'm depressed as hell, man. I'm gonna go and cracking. I'm done with this, man, boys. Thank you for joining me on this. It's been a while. It's been oh my God. Listen, man. You guys have a good evening, man. Thank you for joining me on this.
Cheers, boys. Thanks, Manny. Top man, Manny.
I'm depressed. Thank you, man. Have a good one, boys.
See you later.